Hello and welcome everyone. This is Nitesh Mishra from Federation of Indian Export Organizations, popularly known as FIO, India's apex trade promotion organization. And you are listening to the Voice of Exports, India's first exclusive podcast for EXIM community. On this podcast, we bring top performers from the sector who not only inspire but also reinvigorate among you to become one of them. I welcome you once again for Voice of Exports, a podcast initiative of FIO. Today we have in our program Mr. Dheeraj Jindal from Somany Ceramics Limited. Somany Ceramics Limited is a well-known, reputed company in tiles business and it exports to a lot of countries across the globe. Mr. Dheeraj, a warm welcome to you.
Thank you so much.
First of all, I'd ask you about your company and how it started.
So, thank you so much, Mr. Nitesh, and I would like to extend my gratitude to FIO for arranging this platform and bringing the exporter voice at a global level. So, my company, Somany Ceramics Limited, was founded in 1969 with a clear vision to deliver high quality tiles and sanitary ware to the customer both in India and globally. So, it was a joint venture between UK Plinkinston Tiles and Somany Ceramics to deliver high quality product. And now, today, we have grown into a trusted name in the industry thanks to our commitment to quality, innovation, and customer satisfaction.
Mr. Dheeraj, the next question which I'm going to ask you, what are the challenges you have faced during exports?
I would like to say exporting came with its fair share of challenges. Every country has its own set of standards, regulation, and aligning with those without prior experience was difficult. We also face issues related to the currency fluctuations, shipping delay, building trust with international buyers. So, learning how to navigate cultural difference and global market dynamic was a critical part of this process. Thank you, Mr. Jindal, for a very candid approach to this question. The next question, which I'm going to ask you, is how were you introduced to the FIO services and what made you seek us out? We were introduced to FIO through industry event and word of mouth from other exporters, but I suppose FIO and Somani has a very long relation, and we are standing hand on hand to develop the business and grow gradually with time. At a time when we were actually seeking guidance and clarity on the export procedure, FIO came across as a reliable support system. Their workshop, training session, and personalized advisory service were exactly what we needed that time. It wasn't just about compliance. They help us in strategize better and connect with the right global partner. That's the need of the time. Mr. Jindal, my next question is would be that looking at the current scenario where we have trade wars going on, where we have trade disputes going on, we have trade disruptions also coming, and various challenges are being faced by exporters across the globe. How do you see this challenging environment for the foreign trade sector? My advice would be don't hesitate to start, but do your homework clearly. Understanding the market you are entering, ensure your product meets international standard, and most importantly, build relationship with your buyers. Right? Until unless you don't have the right business approach, you cannot succeed in a long term. And with global business, international business, and exports, you or one should look for long term business, and that is going to happen only with the right business approach. I'm also talking about the tariff war which is going on currently. You have US imposing tariff, that's right. And so a trade war going on between not only US and other global nations, but with India is also coming across various challenges as with regard to this tariff war and the disputes which are emerging in the global trade now. So, what is your take on that? I would like to say that it is being happening because of the unfair trade practices adopted by exporter or supplier from different countries. Because there are two kind of people which I believe. One with a clear vision of establishing a long-term business in the country, like Somani. We care for our brand, we care for our product. Then there are other set of people like other manufacturers or merchant who just care to secure some immediate business. They look for immediate gains and they supply inferior quality product and in different market. So that's how the destination countries face problem with the product, face problem with their local industry, and to safeguard that, they put anti-dumpings, they put tariff war. This has been happening. So if you talk about the present scenario with the US, even the same thing is happening. that US has imposed a very high duty on China, but at the same time they are being relaxed with other countries' origin because for the same reason the US knows very well China is dumping their material in their country in all the sectors, while whereas country like India is still using fair trade practices.
Talking about this situation, has it come as a challenge for the Indian exporter or has it come as an opportunity for the Indian exporter?
Of course, it is. I would say it is going to be an opportunity, but it all depend upon the person or the manufacturer or supplier how you take it. If a person is looking for short term gain, then of course they are going to spoil this opportunity. But altogether, like we are doing, we are taking it as an opportunity, and we are building our trust with the people who are very keen to buy only from China.
The next question which I'm going to ask Mr. Dheeraj is, what advice would you give to companies similar to you or in general looking to export?
I would like to say that companies should focus delivering a good quality product, adopt good business practices, and try to raise Indian origin image. You know, there are people in the industry, there are people in across various industry who are doing or who are adopting unfair business practices and ultimately spoiling our Indian made in India origin image. So according to our RNM, our PM Sahab initiative to uplift the Indian origin product image at global level. So we have to be sure about it, and we have to take proper and corrective business approach about it.
Talking about the tensions with our neighbor these days, Pakistan, what would you like to say?
See, being a Indian origin company, I am quite in favor of what my government is doing right now, and all the initiative which government is doing. We are being aggressive. We have to show the world that what we are.
Okay. My last question, which is very important one. What are the key learnings during your journey of exports, which you would like to share with the upcoming budding exporters, new businesses, and entrepreneurs who would like to come into this field of exports?
One of the biggest lesson we have learned is the importance of adaptability. We need to be adaptable. We need to be flexible with time. Every market, Nitesh, every market react differently, and being flexible in your approach is very crucial. We also realize that investing in quality and certifications upfront pays off in the long term. So we have to make our vision very clear that either we are looking for long term business or short term business. And also, I would like to add here, building a reliable network from logistics partner to buyer is essential. Finally, patience and persistence go a long way in building a sustainable export business. This is all I can say.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dheeraj, for being so candid in your approach and expressing your insightful thoughts about exports and how your company has done in the recent past. And over decades, you have been a path breaker for many more companies and new businesses to come into the field of exports. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you so
Dheeraj.
much. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Really glad to have this conversation with you.
Voice of Exports podcast by FIO aims to provide important information and views on foreign trade, especially on exports, which will help both Indian exporters and importers. Any statements made by an exporter, importer, or an importing company in this podcast as guests reflect the views and opinions of that individual or the company. This podcast does not constitute an endorsement by the FIO of the individual or the company, his or her or its employer or affiliated entity. The specific information or views provided, resources mentioned, or products or services endorsed or offered by that individual or the company, his or her or its employer or affiliated entity. FIO assumes no responsibility for the accuracy, completeness, or timelines of the information provided by the guest or the company in this podcast, or for the decisions made and reliance on any information provided by the guest or the company in this podcast. We thank you for listening to this Voice of Exports podcast service brought to you by the FIO. For more information on how you can start exporting, please visit our website www.fio.org.